Hello, my love. Good morning to you. I hope this finds you well. I hope that you slept well last night. I hope that you stretched today and are ready to take on your day. I hope that today you go forth with intention, that you go about your day intentionally in some respect or regard. Not a requirement, just a thought, but I'm thinking about you as to thoughts, and I hope you are well. And I was thinking also about trauma and video games. And I learned about this from Jane McGonigal and being exposed to her research, and I can't remember if it was a TED Talk or if it was through the Tim Ferriss podcast, but the point being that research has shown and that video games will actually help alleviate trauma in terms of a post-traumatic stress type situation. And what they had found was that if you play video games after a traumatic event for up to 10 minutes, and these are games like, golly, what's the one? Now I can't even, Tetris, with the falling blocks. Or there was a game, Candy Crush, I think at some point in time, although I'd never played it, that's similar. But those types of games with that sort of visual and thought process element, that if you do that after a traumatic event, it greatly diminishes the effect of the trauma. And it was so amazing. So they had found, so if you have a traumatic event, you should try and play, as silly as it may sound, a video game for at least 10 minutes as soon thereafter as possible. But even more interesting, they found that if you took the time to sit, so even like a day later, sit in the event, think about the traumatic events that had occurred, and then played the video game for a period of time, 10 minutes or whatnot, that too helped lessen the trauma of the event. So while it is key to try to do it immediately after the event, you can still even do it later. Our brains are that malleable, which is so interesting to me and exciting. And it was really, really interesting because it's such a simple and easy tool, such a simple and easy thing to do that will actually help post-traumatic stress disorder. And keep in mind too, and this I learned somewhere else, but trauma comes not simply from experiencing a traumatic event, being in a car accident, but trauma also comes from witnessing traumatic events and being present at traumatic events, even if the trauma, the car crash or an assault or whatever it might be, didn't happen to you in particular. Being present at a traumatic event can cause trauma in you. I think there was even some argument that it is even more traumatic for the person viewing it than the person experiencing it. But my recollection on that regard is faulty. So even then, if you were simply witnessing a traumatic event, I would advise you or encourage you to avail yourself of this simple tool and to play a video game, akin to Tetris or Candy Crush or any of those other types of games, to recalibrate your brain and readjust its comprehension of and relation to and imprinting of the traumatic event. So, something to keep in mind, terribly useful, and so simple, as odd as it may sound. So, with that, I will bid you adieu, and it's not simply, by the way, because I love video games, as you know, that I am making this recommendation. The research is out there, so this is, you could of course think it is a biased recommendation given my love for video games. although my love did not seem to fall in the ambit of those types of games, as you know. But actually, this is very real and something to keep in your pocket. But be that as it may, I will bid you adieu. I will recommend again Congratulations, Who Are You Again by Harrison Scott Key, and of course the music of Eric Bachmann. And with that, I love you.